And I was telling the girls here that last night I had an interview with Neil Donald Walsh, the author
Yes,
of
I'm going to
Conversations
talk
with
about
God.
this.
Yes, the way he was answering the questions, the way he was saying that it's never about you, and actually you're here just to learn your true nature, then everything becomes possible. And I think this is where things become possible, and we have access to these infinite possibilities, is when you really search just for yourself, when you really search for that kingdom of God within, for that pure love. And and I know it sounds cliche, and we all talk about that, we hear that all the time, but when you have the realization of it, it's different, because you have the experience of it. So I think then it's then just to start a conversation, because you were busy, Danielle, and you asked us, and I'm talkative this morning.
That's okay. I'm too excited for you.
I'm
Great
so
subject.
excited.
Yeah, wonderful.
I think that's not the only way, but the best, the fastest way to access the field of infinite possibilities is when you let go of everything and you go into
resistance is suffering. We were talking about that last week.
Yes.
Let go of resistance and just be curious.
That's exactly. And also not to be scared to ask, because if you don't ask, you don't get. It starts with an idea. It starts with a positive intention, an idea. Then you have to take action, and you take action from love, take action from the heart, take action from who you are. And when you send that out, only good will come back. And you'll always get, if you can visualize it and you can make it happen, it will happen. It will happen. You just have to be open to it and recognize the little signs along the way, and just be open to them and say yes, right? It's saying yes to what is offered to you, and to live outside that box. It's to live outside that comfort zone. Do a little bit what scares you crapless every day, do it. Because when you do that, that's how we're going to grow, because anyone can stay in their comfort zone, and that's a nice, safe place, and it's a beautiful place to be. Everyone needs security. Everyone needs safety. But you can also find that in new experiences. And if you don't try, you don't know. That's the thing. So if you don't know what you want to do, you don't know where you want to go, experiment and try and ask and be open. That's the field of possibilities today. Everyone that was watching, good morning. I'm going to do a quick hello, because
because we jumped right in.
I know. Oh, do you know why not? It's like a swimming pool.
They know us.
You don't want to dip
they
your
are.
toes in. When you're in a hot day and there's a swimming pool there, and you can just dip your toes in, or you just dive right in, babe. That's what I say. So today, for our NLP chats, we always talk about everything. We always talk about everything, and it's just flipping, enlightening, and just a magic experience and connection, and just everything that I love in this universe is just with a group of true-hearted souls, and I'm so grateful for that. And today, alongside talking about everything, we're going to talk about what really matters. What is it that really matters when you zoom out of a situation? What is it that is important? What really matters in this world, in this universe? What are the fields of opportunity do you have? Because you have infinite opportunity, infinite possibility, as long as you decide to just let yourself be open and let it be free, and let yourself go and go get stuff. Why there's no one that says your dreams can't come true, because the only limits we're going to put on ourselves is ourself. So let's let go of any limiting beliefs, any limitations, and just decide that we are good enough, we are enough, and we can go get anything. We're as good as everybody else out there, because we are all connected and we are all energy, and no one is impossible to get to through the resources that we have at our disposal. The internet, we have podcasts, we have magazines, we have everything. We have I don't even know. We have so many resources that we can just contact whoever is in this planet through. And that's an incredible blessing and a gift that is at our disposal to use. And the only thing that's stopping us is the fear of what happens if it doesn't work. Well, how about asking yourself, what happens if it does work? What happens if it does work? So today we are talking about that. And Susanna, who's absolute, oh, she's back again. You've been through some challenging times in this past few weeks yourself, which we can talk about. But last night, she a couple of weeks ago came to me and said, oh, I really want to have an interview with, she had it in her head, the vision, Neil Walsh from Conversations with God, and the incredible author of however many books,
37 books.
37.
And he's publishing now in a month or two, the 38th.
And I said, didn't I said to you, just ask him, because you said you went on that, didn't you? You said you went on that talk thing, and you said, oh, I'd love to interview. I said, well, why don't you just ask him? And it's like,
no, I think I wrote you the moment after I sent you the email, and I was waiting for an answer.
Yes, and that was it. And opening yourself up to that possibility. And then he comes back to Susanna, and well, Susanna will tell the story anyway, but she did it. She flipping did it, and she got the most incredible interview, like a pro. Last night, conversation.
It's going to be probably tonight, no matter what time it is. I will work on it and put it on YouTube tonight. I'm
so excited. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
And today, my podcast that I did with the Telegraph, the journalist from the Telegraph, that's come out today. So I'm going to share the link in a bit today. And that was something else. I was just open to possibilities. I've just had, since the beginning of lockdown, I've just had this almost inner guidance. That's all I can call it, really. It's a guidance that's just kind of like attracted everyone around me, like a spirit team around me, that has just taken me wherever it needs to be. And I've just been open to everything. And when this came in, it's like it's a whole new experience for me. It's like I've never done a podcast before, let alone done a podcast with the Telegraph or anything like that. And I was just, open and trusted that I know myself. I know who I am. If I'm authentic, then I can't go wrong. And then alongside Kate, who just literally took away some barriers that I had as to recording and interview situations. And I spoke about this last week as well, but Kate literally lifted the red light away from the what's it called, Kate? The red transparency over my white light.
Yeah, the filter, wasn't it? You had a red filter over the white light.
That's it. And she threw it away, and together we got rid of that. And that opened me up to the true field of possibilities. And I went out there and I did it, and I loved it, and it's out today. So we'll see what happens. And my Metro interview, that's out next Tuesday, I think, as well. So open, bring it all on, and we're all together. We push this massive field of love and light out into the world, and just make it even brighter. So yes, so today, that's what we're talking about. Can I throw it out there to, let's go Marie, because Marie, I haven't seen you for ages and I've missed your face. I've missed your face.
Oh, it's okay. So nice to see you guys. I've missed you so much too. It's like really seeing all your smiles, your face, your energy, I love it. I realize now even more how much it's critical to see your face very often and share that energy.
Yeah, it is though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It's like an anchor.
Just feeling up.
Yeah,
just
it is.
With 2 second smiles and chat, and that already it's kicking something. It's just lovely to see you guys. So nice.
Oh, my Marie. Marie, I adore you. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. I'm so excited when I saw your little message saying, can I join? I was like, yeah. Yes. So what I'm going to ask a question to everybody. So what really matters to you right now? Right? This is my question I'm going to ask you. And I'm going to start with Marie. What really matters to you? It's just one question. What really matters to you right now?
At this right minute, it's just about, you're going to find it cliche, but it's so not, it's just about love.
Yeah.
I think this is the only thing that really I feel like whenever that's my only focus actually. Yeah. Whenever I address to my kids, to my friends, to myself, It's the only thing that truly matters for me, and it's been like that for a while. It's not even the reconversion. Okay, I need to grow my business. Okay, of course I need to grow my business. But funny enough, everything and every decision I'm making at the moment in my life, or increasingly so, is about what is the amount of love into that. Love as big L. What is the amount of love? And whenever I feel like it's warm in there, well, it makes me happy. And I think it's just yeah, that's just what it is, I think.
Yeah, I love that, Marie. That's it. That's right for me. And I'm going to say to Kate, what really matters to you right now?
Yeah, I mean, I would go along with Marie. I mean, we were talking about this last night, a group of friends and me, and I always used to think it was freedom. I thought freedom was my number one. And then having sort of done a lot of sort of self-inquiry recently, I realized that freedom was like a fear. It was more a fear of being trapped.
Wow.
So my need for freedom was coming through fear of being trapped or confined or, you know, not being myself, you know, whatever that was. And so there was this whole thing. So I thought I want freedom, but no, it's not that. It's why am I fearful of where I am at? And it all comes back to connection. So love, connection, alignment, whatever you want to call it. It's about being okay with whatever is in the moment, a bit like Susanna was saying earlier, you know, just not resisting what is, and kind of loving everything, even my fear and that fear of not being free. I just loving that, and it all, you know, from a very logical, scientific my head is very much that way. It's like love just sounds a bit weak and pathetic, but that's my head saying that, but my heart's saying, well, yeah, but that's all there is. And so when you're stuck in your head, like I tend to get, then you don't feel, the love isn't there. You don't even feel it. I'm only up here and there's nothing below. But as soon as I tune into my whole being and this body I have that isn't just carrying my head around, it actually is a part of me. It is an important part of me. It has feelings that I need to listen to. And as soon as I open up, so this is opening and just be curious, then that can just flow, whatever it is. And we were talking the other week as well, weren't we, about getting past blocks and obstacles. Well, you can do that with love rather than just bashing and hating it and trying to bash your way through it, as I used to do. I used to bash through problems and blocks and, you know, come out the other side bloodied and bruised, but I didn't care because I'd done it, you know, and yes, you know, fighting, pushing and driving, and so instead of just flowing past it and then allowing slowly the block would just eventually just dissolve away, just flowing, accepting it, it's there, and just flowing past it. And so that's my definition of love. I think we all have our own way of expressing that and but I think when you get to that place that is just pure acceptance and love and energy and peace and awe and joy and all those things, when you tap into that place that everyone has inside of them, which is kind of like a light, most people see it as like a orangey yellow light, but for me it's like sunshine, because it's warm and it's accepting of me exactly as I am. And when people touch that place and invite any fear or anything else into that place, then it tends to just kind of dissolve away. And the same with physical pain, anything like that. So that's a long answer to your short question.
No, I love that. But this is what I mean. Like, it's a huge question. It is. It's like, it is a huge question. So Susanna, what really matters right now?
Well, after having the conversation with Neil last night, of course, it became clearer, because these type of conversations are always of help. But I can say that since forever for me was God. I can tell you that. I was a little girl and I wanted to know about God and about why I was there. So that was important to me. Over time, it changed into a search for truth, because truth somehow, like if you are in the truth of what it is, rather than lying to yourself, and truth is God. But I could say that now, the way I see it is the same thing. What matters to me is that the truth it is the source, connection to the source. To me, it is so clear that without being connected to that, nothing is possible. You don't have access to that field of possibilities. So is that connection, is that truth, but truth in togetherness, truth in that presence. So what I need, and I think what created this need in me these past weeks was because of the challenges I've been through. Because you realize that it's not always, in life is not always like many people believe or think or imagine, that life is all about love and joy and staying there forever through the eternity or until you leave the body. It is not. Life is filled with all kinds of things, and some of them are quite challenging. Marie, I think you can relate to what I'm saying now. So what matters is not that state of joy or love that you can feel, but is that the courage to be in the truth of what is there now and to allow the presence. Because if I was able to go through this time, through this period of my life, very difficult, it is because I felt I was guided, I was supported, I had a presence. So that's what's important to me, truth in togetherness, or togetherness with the source. And I think that if I learned something from all this past couple of months actually, is that the only thing that matters is to stay as much as I can connected to the source.
Oh, beautiful.
And talking to Neil last night when he talked about the relationship or having a friendship with God, and he actually used these words. He said, well, God being defined by this energy, right? The source. So just to be clear about that. He said that God actually wants you to use him, abuse him. Just wants you to ask. He just wants you to ask. And this is where I am. I think it's like breathing to me now. It's like breathing air. It's that important to have that presence, because I know I can't control everything and I can't really change life the way I want, because sometimes it is the way I decided a long time ago. Maybe my soul wants something else, or maybe it doesn't fit in the big scheme. So I don't want to be in that selfishness where I say, I want to go that way. No, I want to fit in that matrix the best way possible. And I want to do that having a company, having a friend with me, having a presence. So I think that's what it is. I don't want the loneliness, the sense of loneliness, the sense of isolation, the sense of being one alone and being isolated from others. Is that sense of I am connected with the source, and then everything is possible. And I think that if I do that, and if I am there, then everything else becomes easier to deal with. Because sometimes situations are not easy to deal with. And even though I say, I could be easy, no, witnessing somebody having pain and suffering next to you is not easy. Dealing with all kinds of things, it's not easy. But if you have that courage and if you have that presence, then something else happens here. And then you find some other qualities of being as a human. And we don't define ourselves only through the joys or the sorrow. You discover something that goes beyond that. And I think this is the trip, the adventure towards these capacities that we have in our hearts and souls that go even beyond the emotion of joy and pleasure and love and oneness, presence, and that state of certainty that you are here forever.
We are.
And we are here forever, that it never ends. And
our
it's
bodies.
not a bad thing.
That was so beautifully put. Oh my God, that was so eloquent. You know me and my words.
I just let it
flow. Yeah. And that's the thing. We are, our bodies are vehicles. Our bodies are vehicles on this planet for a very short amount of time, relatively. But our energies and our imprint and the mark that we leave on this planet, and we are infinite, and we will always, our energy is part of the oneness of this world and is part of the energy. So that we're just using these bodies for a limited higher period. And that is it. And it's our job to look after our bodies, because if we don't, then our vehicles will break down, and that's not honoring the gift that we've been given, really. So we kind of like have to just look at what we've got and be grateful for it and try and look after it. But at the end of the day, the most important thing to look after is your authentic self, the reason why you're here. And if you don't know the reason why you're here, then what's important? What's important right now? What's important to you? If you zoom out on everything in your life under one massive umbrella, what is it that connects everything? What is it that makes you come alive? What is it that sets your soul on fire and makes you just feel at peace, at one with everything, and that makes you just feel that you're part of this planet? And what is that? Because when you've got that answer, then you can zoom back in and just focus on that, on the different parts of your life, and make them even bigger and brighter. So for me, love and kindness and happiness and nature and magic and the signs. I get so many signs that I'm on the right track, or if I'm kind of going off the right track, and well, there's no such thing really, but you know, kind of going off the beaten track a bit. And in my dreams, I get things sometimes, and they're very clear. And I wake up and I'm like, I've got to contact this person that I haven't spoken to for 20 years just to check in on them. You know what I mean? So I get little things like that, and the more I tune into them and that vibration and that energy, the more I'm getting them as well. The more I'm open to them, and more I'm getting them. And oh my God, it's a beautiful thing. And I get this feeling. It's like when I'm tuned into this higher vibration, it's like I get this tingling all over me, and just like a feeling of just pure happiness. That's all I can just describe it as. It just feels like I just, my whole body's tingling, and I just come alive, and I just want to connect and share. And I can't describe it really in words. It's just a feeling, and it's a knowing, and it's a happiness. It's a brightness that I just want to share. And that's kind of how I know that's what allows me to be open to my infinite possibility, because I'm not scared of failure. Because in NLP, there's no failure, only feedback. So I'm not scared of doing something that doesn't work out quite how I thought it might work out, because I'm very open to the fact that it's just leading me along my path to something else. And without that experience and that learning right there, I'm not going to be able to get to there anyway. So it's just one massive, like, it's like going up a mountain. To the top of a mountain, there's this beautiful waterfall, and whatever way you get there, you're going to get to that peak, and then you've got that flow of the waterfall, and it's just a beautiful thing. I'm really being quite out there at the moment. Now I'm in my field of possibilities. I'm up there. But everybody can do this, you know. Everybody in NLP. When we were learning our NLP, Kate, you were with me, weren't you? Were you with the masters as well? Was it you that I got? No, it was with I can't remember who it was now, but I got someone to their infinite field of possibilities. What was the technique that we got to get to that? Do you remember?
It depends. I mean, there are a number of different ones, but you can do the chunking up, can't you? See what's the purpose of that, and so you can chunk up to that place. Yeah,
that's right. So we could maybe just sort of talk about that a little bit. So it's like, say who wants to get to the field of possibilities? Anyone? I'm gonna go Marie. Oh, it's Susanna.
Yeah, no, go with Marie. No,
Marie.
Yeah. You go, Susanna.
No, go ahead.
Marie.
No.
I'm going to you. Spotlight's on you, Marie. Right, Marie. Yeah. Kate, will you get Marie to the possibilities? Let's do it. So we just see it in action.
I thought you were going to do it.
Oh, no, I want you to, because you're amazing at stuff like this.
Okay, so what we're doing is thinking about a part of you maybe that you kind of feel is you kind of push away a part of you.
No, a feeling or a part of me you want to push away?
A feeling or something you judge as not being quite what you'd like it to be, or a feeling that you don't like, you push away a bit. something you don't necessarily accept about yourself, whatever it might be, something uncomfortable.
What I would pick up, not being good enough always, or kind enough, or good enough, or yeah, that's probably one of the things.
Okay, so that part
and being rejected for that, for example,
okay.
I think it's all linked together probably.
Yeah, sure. So not being good enough. So
or lovable.
That part of you doesn't. There's a part of you then that doesn't feel lovable.
Correct.
Yeah. And so if you were to tune into that part of you, where is that inside of you? Where is that part? When you feel that feeling, where is that feeling?
That fear of not being lovable is here.
Yeah. Okay. And what does it look like? Just describe how it looks. Is there a shape to it?
It could be some kind of funny triangle that comes to me, but yeah, okay. A triangle is very sharp. It's very sharp. It's not round. It's not smooth. It's like angular, and I don't even like those angles.
Okay, so it's sharp. And what about color? Any color there?
It's some kind of dark, deep sea blue. You know, like when the sea is blue, that it looks black.
Okay, yeah, really deep blue. Okay, and so this sort of blackish blue. And is there any movement in there with this?
It's just moved, but it's inside. It's almost like inside it moves a lot, but the perimeter and the shape is very rigid. Okay. But inside, it's like, it could be like a deep sea inside.
Okay, so it's kind of churning around like the sea.
Yeah, it's like this strong movement that moves, but almost like you feel like it's just does its own thing.
Okay.
And it's strong.
Is there any sound that's important?
No.
Okay.
No, it's almost like, but I said no, as it's not a sound, it's almost like a deep inside sound that could be like a ronronnement, we say in French, like a vrooming, like something like a deep down noise that resonates.
Okay.
And very grave in terms of noise, but slow, not quick, like rambling, strong rambling, and yeah.
And what's the feeling, if you could describe the feeling, if there was a word for the feeling that you're getting from this place when you're there?
It's almost like you see it's coming and you're not sure you can fight that. It's almost like you've got to accept that thing. You can't find that strength.
And what does that feel like? Is it, so you can't fight the strength?
Powerless.
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 Good. Okay. So into that feeling now, just as you feel that, you're in touch with that triangle, you're hearing that sort of low rumbling sound, you're seeing that churning black blue sea. And so what is the feeling that comes from it? As this is a part of you, so you feel powerless, so it's very strong. Is it what is the feeling that it feels?
Anxiety and fear.
Okay, good. And so just asking this part, what would it like to be called if you could give it a name? If it could tell you a word that describes it fully, that fully describes this part of you, what would it like to be called?
I know it, I feel, but I can't say the word. It's like my scary self. You want a feeling, or you want a name, a part of me?
I want it to tell you what it wants to be called.
It's just the scary, this scary little, it wants to be called that. That's my scary, you little scary side. That's your frightened side. Yeah. I want you to call it my frightened side. Not my baby, my little girl frightened thing. And it's that spot, yeah. It's the little frightened girl.
Okay. And this little frightened girl then, just ask her now, what's her purpose for you, for Marie? What's her purpose for you? Because I know she has a very positive purpose, because she's there for a reason. She's there to help you in some way.
It's almost like she's there to always tell me that to keep vigilant for everything.
Yeah, to keep vigilant. Good. And
yeah.
so to keep vigilant, what's the higher purpose of keeping vigilant? What does that give Marie when you're keeping her vigilant?
That you can be hurt, and saying that it feels for me now that whatever I do, I actually have to do it embracing the fact and accepting something that it can be done with pain, but still I do it knowing that the pain could come out of that. And it's almost like it takes me to a deeper understanding.
Right.
That to accept that they will, if whenever it's called, they also, it cannot be 100% without that pain. That pain will always be there somehow.
Yes, she's there to give you that deeper understanding. And what does that give you, Marie? What does she say that gives you, that deeper understanding?
Well, it's really to accept all the beauty, to have the beautiful thing and accept all the beauties. I also need to remember that pain.
Okay, and to accept beauty, what does that give Marie?
Well, it's that it can fade away, and it's okay. It's never settled. It's never set. It's never set. It's about the journey. There's no certainty. That's what it gives me. Now, how does it feed me? How you make me thinking now. I think the feeling of loss is always present, and it makes me realize how much I like the link. Does it make sense?
How much you like the link?
The link, yeah, the link to connections.
Okay, so it's important to know loss, to know connection.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. So what is it?
Well, the desire to connect is proportional to the fear of being rejected or the pain. You know, it's almost like I will only feel that small person when I put so much interest and hope and energy into something that becomes so dear to me that I start feeling that fear of loss.
Okay,
so it's probably a way to tell me it's important, it's worthwhile, and because it's so important, you're scared to lose it.
Sure. So it's so being scared to lose something, and this importance of connection. So she sees the importance of connection. So what does that connection bring?
Joy, happiness, and love.
Yeah.
That's just pure love. For me, that I mean, I can answer that in 2 seconds. Yeah. Connection for me is pure love.
And for her, for this little girl in your heart, does she see that pure love and joy and connection?
No, she wants it.
Yeah, she wants it. She
wants it, but as soon as she got a feeling there's a rejection in her perception, then it gives the anxiety and the lack of love and not lovable. And the anxiety of why, what happened, why is it like that?
And so this place of love and joy and connection, where is that inside of you?
It's in my chest, in my heart. I mean, in my heart chakra, if I have to say, between just there.
And then where is this sharp triangle in relation to that?
It will be more in Maybe more in the throat, but otherwise you can go down more by the plexus, I suppose.
Okay.
But I mean, they can be sitting next to each other, actually.
Yeah. And so just asking this little girl, this beautiful feeling that's right next to her there, would she, or could she just accept a little bit of that into herself, into that triangle now, a little bit of that love? Of that joy, of that connection.
I can.
Yeah.
I've got a knot in my throat.
Yeah.
I can just accept that probably that triangle and that fear is probably what makes me love so much.
Yeah. Yes, important.
Mm.
Yeah, she's got an important role, isn't she?
Mm.
So can she now just see that love and that light and that place that's just it is infinite. It's just a space that's just full of light and love and energy, flow. Just letting that connection, and how could that connection grow even stronger now? How can
I can just kind of grow over that triangle, cover it, not just to cover it up.
Yeah, not to suppress it in any way, but just to allow it to be a part of.
Almost like there's a filter, the triangle's there, now this other energy comes there. So the triangle's at the back, but this other one is climbing and getting bigger on the front of it. Almost masking it, not getting rid of it, but masking it.
And just inviting that triangle now into that space, so they become one now. Both of them have an important role for you.
Yeah.
Just letting that joy and that light just welcome in the triangle, so it can become a part. And just saying welcome, and just see if that little girl will just take their hand and just go in there.
Yeah, I can mix them up. It's a very strange feeling in my chest.
So what's happening to that triangle now, and that old feeling?
I don't see the shape of it anymore. I don't feel the shape of it. I feel the intensity, which is getting mixed up, a bit like if you make a pancake, getting mixed up with the warm intensity. So it's almost like the tightness is getting mixed up, incorporated with the warmth. And if I manage to stir it a bit more, it's almost like it's going to be a strong warmth instead of something tight and warm, you know what I mean?
And what's that little girl doing now?
She's smiling.
Yeah.
She's actually smiling. Thinking,
Well, she's home now. And she's still important. She's got an important role to play, but she can do it now from a place of love and not from fear.
She finds it funny. She does. She actually does. It's find it quite funny. I can see this tiny, shorty little thing, and almost looking in a kind of dissociated way at what's happening in my chest right now, and makes her laugh. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I think she's probably wanted to have a good laugh for a long time.
Probably. Thinking that's actually quite cool. It is. It's actually funny to be scared. Or rejected. Or rejected. will. It gives you so much strength.
Yeah.
You got me to laugh now, just now.
Field of possibilities. There you go. Field of possibilities right there.
That is so good.
That was magic. That was so fascinating.
This feeling of transforming that and that triangle shape is not there anymore.
Beautiful.
Almost like a swish. I can't see the shape. I just have the intensity of what's happening inside, the strength mixing with the warmth. Like this strong movement of like mixing with the warmth, and that's it. It's a strong warmth.
That was brilliant. Kate,
Brilliant. Thank you, Kate.
Well done. No, good. Well done, you. Yeah, excellent.
Oh, thank you.
that was so good. Kate, honestly, when I watch this, I find it so magical, and just I learn so much as well, and it's just mesmerizing, and that was beautiful. Literally the change and how quickly the old patterns can be reframed and just changed, and that infinite field of possibilities, just you feel it, it's different. And that was, oh Kate, thank you. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. I love this work. I love it.
I feel like
I could do it all day.
got goose all over.
Yeah. Susie, my darling. Cool. Are you okay?
Yes. Sorry, I muted myself because I had a couple of calls coming. So sorry about that. I had to go.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. How good was that? Amazing.
Yeah.
How would Ayurveda? I can't even say it. I can never say Ayurveda.
Ayurveda.
Ayurveda. I think I get it wrong. Yeah. How would Ayurveda bring the field of possibilities? Well, how does it look at that in Ayurveda?
Field of possibilities. Well, what I like about Ayurveda is that it's in the truth as well. As I said, I like to, and probably that's my scientific formatting as well, because I'm a scientist as well. But I like to look at things as they are, rather than being there into the, oh my God, everything can be fantastic. There is a limit with which your body is coming. You are coming with a certain model of the world because of the memory of the information that is contained in your body. And so you can't change that. You can't change your constitution, for instance, but you can upgrade it, and you can learn as much as you can from that constitution. And for instance, if you are of a Vata or wind nature, the challenge this lifetime using this particular body is to learn to come out of fear, to learn courage, to learn being grounded, to learn certain aspects. So your constitution gives you the freedom to learn more things. So I'm in between, like the field of possibilities is out of the space-time continuum. When you are in a body, the possibilities seem limited. That doesn't mean that somewhere inside you can't be, or you can't imagine something else. Someday it will happen. But there are some limits, but those limits are there to open you towards different possibilities of being, and to that infinite field of possibilities. And in Ayurveda, the first lines of any Ayurveda text or book of medicine is this. Excuse me. The real suffering, the real source of suffering is the separation from yourself.
I agree with that.
So again, I'm coming to the same thing for me, because you mentioned it earlier, Danielle, and I wrote it down because you mentioned the word guidance. I don't think access to infinite possibilities is when we accept our divine nature, we also need to accept that there is something else greater than us. And I think this is the part where most of the people forget, because you can get there into that law of attraction thing and attract something just by following the rule. But then you will not be in that flow. You will not be in connection with your own soul. You would not be in that particular path where your soul wants to be. So infinite possibilities means you can get, yes, anything. but does everything that is out there, or is everything that is out there a real possibility for you, or there's some that you already pre-decided to explore? So it's a mix. Like in everything else, is this duality that is puzzling our minds and brains. You are divine, but there is something greater than you. There are all possibilities out there, but at the same time, there's the limitation. There is this pure love, but there's this the utmost painful experience that you can go through. It's this field of this two
yin yang
Polarity.
duality that allows for that fabric of the soul to manifest itself. These are the best words that I could find. And listening to Marie, this is exactly what it is this game of seeing that not everything, I mean, that everything is part of life, even being rejected. Even being rejected, that's what it is. Even death, even pain, even... And when you get, because I was talking to Neil last night, and he was telling me about his experience when he lost everything. I don't know if you know his story, and he told me about the times when he was on the street. He basically had no money, no house, no roof. He had to beg for a few months to survive.
Incredible.
And so when you are there and you kind of lose everything, he says there is something that happens. There is an acceptance that happens. And after the acceptance, there is the liberation, where you understand that you don't need anything. You see, there could be this mistake that when you say, okay, access the field of possibilities, you go there with the idea that you need something. It's as strange as it may sound. I think the field of possibilities is there when you realize that you don't need anything.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That sort of links with like the grasping thing, doesn't it? Not to be grasping something, because you're still holding on tightly to something you think you need.
Yeah, that's right.
But Danielle, you were also referring earlier to our body being our vehicles, and just a way that we can manifest all the energy.
Yeah.
And I would think as well in terms of infinite possibility, it's a beautiful vehicle, because if we can connect to that vehicle, that's the way for all possibility to be felt by us. Because on the energy level, there's so much we can feel. But when you have got a thought to create that thought, or you're doing something and you're getting this shiver in your body, for me, it's like something, some energy, some soul is just condensing all of a sudden to tell you, yeah, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
And when you start to almost, as we say also at NLP, unconscious, you become unconsciously competent at everything. You don't even need to think about it. And it's almost at the very, sometimes you think about something and you feel, oh, that shiver, oh, that might be that. And you notice, but then all of a sudden it becomes a second nature. You're using your vehicle, your body, as a way to read what the energy is coming and what this infinite possibility are coming. And sometimes you're doing this and you're having that itch that tells you, no, that's not right. And sometimes you feel that kind of rumble stuff that arrives. And now you know that I must do. And it's almost for me that our body is also the vector to have to be able to follow this infinite possibility if we read that energy level correctly.
Yeah.
As to, are we on the right path? Are we not? Is that a good idea? And I would say with no mistake, if we start to connect to that body, we every time get a sensation in our physical body.
That's beautiful.
Which is energy level telling us something, whether it's pain, whether it's happiness, whether it's tinglings, whether it's tears, whether it's anger. That is also there to tell us something, but we feel it.
Yeah. And then the greatest gift of perspective to look at the situation, if you can zoom out a little bit and look at it from different angles and see how it looks different in those angles from that anger perspective, is there something greater than that you can focus on? It's all about focusing, if I'm ever having a day which is challenging, and it's like trying to get rid of the noise and the cloud and just focusing on the greater good, focusing on what's really important right there in that situation, rather than inviting in, allowing more of the the negative energy, just raising it up by using that focus and doing all the things that you know that makes you feel great and can lift that vibration so that you're then attracted onto a different kind of an angle. So yeah, you guys are just
well, you're talking about that, Danielle, and using these words focus and creating an image. And what reminds me of is this exercise we were doing. I think it was in a master class we learned it. I don't remember how it's called, but it's like zooming, changing the focus of the lenses. Like when you're obsessed with something and you think you want, let's say you're obsessed because you can't find yourself, in a relationship or a job or something. So you can create an image of that absence or that particular thing you want or you think you want, what is missing. And then as you're focusing on it, everything else is blurred. And what you do, you shift the blur. So basically you change the lenses in your imagination, and then everything else comes forth, the background comes forward.
Yeah.
And so like this, everything else becomes possible. So you're not just focused on one particular thing with obsession, but you just allow everything else to come forth from the background into I think it's called background,
foreground. Yeah.
And it's a fantastic. I remember having this. I started traveling through the stars in the universe when I did that. It really took me out like this for a moment.
And they use that on the trauma, don't they? On the trauma, when people have trauma, they look at the situation, zoom out a bit, and then just focus on what's going on in the background rather than the foreground. So it all kind of like reframes a bit and makes more sense of the situation. And it's very powerful.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I think this infinite possibilities is the focus. When you are focused on one thing. Of course, if I like red cars, the only thing I see on the street is red cars, and that's what it is. But if I switch my attention, if like I'm thinking also of the peripheral vision, right? It's the same thing. You realize that everything is out there, that you are connected with everything and everybody. And at any point in time, you can choose something else at every other single second. Well, the way it started with how I got to have the conversations with Neil was that I had this thought after going through these challenges, this, of course, you start to have a dialogue with God inside, and you kind of ask yourself, why is this happening? Why should I learn from this? And where are you? I want you to be here with me. And as I'm having this inner conversation, if I can call it that way, and I'm looking for answers, and I feel that if I get to have certain answers, things will be easier. I see an email with Neil's, proposal for that webinar, friendship with God. And I search, and there's a possibility to pay as much as you want. He's so generous. I mean, he can pay the full price or 90% of the price, 80% of the price, going to paying nothing. So basically everybody can go. He's been doing that for years. He's the most generous spiritual teacher. He doesn't want to be called that way, but a messenger, to be called, that I've seen. I mean, anybody can go and attend, even if you don't have the means. And so I went and I participated, and then I had a couple of questions answered, and then I just had, in the instant as I was talking to him, that thought came to ask him for an interview. So one thing brings to another. This is how I see it. And this vast matrix of possibilities, when you go into the peripheral vision, and everything becomes possible, whatever is required, whatever is needed or is most suitable for you, if you are connected with yourself, then it will become lighter, brighter. It will attract you, or it will just pop up as an idea, or to bring you that way. It's not what people believe. That's why, because I'm very, very faithful to the truth, I don't like to tell people, God, everything is possible. No, I learned that not everything is possible. You have to respect the law. You have to love. You have to help others. You have to follow your heart and soul. It's not just go out there and cut all the Amazonian forest. No, this is not the field of possibility. The field of possibility is in that possibilities of being. There, everything is possible first, and then it will materialize by itself.
That's right.
Well, you're part of a matrix. You are a wave of the ocean. You can't change the ocean.
No.
but you have to be the most harmonious wave in this ocean, so that the whole ocean can feel this love, so that everybody else can feel it, not just yourself. Bigger house for you, and a bigger car for you, and a villa there, and a boat there. No, you can go ahead and have it. That's okay. But this is not what you're here for.
No, that's right.
Possibilities are about the state of being that you can access, and all the love that you can give to others, and how you touch other people's lives. This is where you really have the choice. This is where the possibilities are infinite.
Well, that is the field of possibilities. That is exactly it. It is. We have the field of possibilities. But it's within. It is that. Because we can't change someone else's point of view. We can't change someone else. We can't change someone else's actions. But what we can do is change how we see that, and that's where the field of possibility lies within.
Yes.
And oh, that was just. Oh, do you know what? It's been an hour. And I'm so. Oh my God, I can't have words. There are no words to express. I'm in the field of possibilities right now. And I love you all. I thank you all so much. And anyone that's watching, I hope you got as much value out of this than what I did. Because that was like,
you're so cute.
That was like an emotion bath. That was like having like a bubble bath, but with 50 billion bubbles and just like rose petals and sunlight on an open lake, and just like being at one with everything. That was just like the best bath ever with you guys. So thank you all so much for joining my Friday chats. And anyone watching, if you want to find out any more about these incredible therapists, please just check my description. I'm going to write everyone's contact details in there, and contact everyone. They are all magic. These people are flipping magic, and I'm so grateful to have them in my life. So flipping grateful. Oh my God. So there's nothing left to say apart from have a beautiful weekend. Search within, get that field for possibilities, and break down any barriers that you have in yourself. And Kate, thank you for that brilliant technique that we saw there, and Marie for being such an amazing what would you be? Not client, a subject, or I don't know, but
that would be
heart.
For sharing your experience with us.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, thank you.
For letting us going in there and witnessing that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really special. And the thing is, to see something like that is so important, because it's so beautifully done, that was, and it's so wonderful to see that come together. It's a magic thing for me to see as well. So anyone watching, please do get in touch with anyone, or see if you can do it yourself. See if there's anything you can do yourself by learning from that. I'm going to send everyone all the love in the world, big kisses, and we're going to say goodbye from us. I'm going to go off live. Hold on, let me just